Hello people of YouTube, I'm Tuesday Porygon, and for this video, I'm going to be showing you gameplay footage of one of the free games of the Batman Arkham trilogy for Nintendo Switch. You can see that Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight have all been re-released for the Nintendo Switch. And I assume it was to dedicate the death of Kevin Conroy, everyone's favorite voice actor for Batman. Yeah, I know, it's a very tragic and sad thing that Conroy's gone. He was the longest running Batman voice actor ever since the early 90s, when he did the voice of Batman in the animated series. But, I'm going to be showing you gameplay footage of Arkham Knight for the Switch. Now, I should first mention that Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, the first two games, they run pretty well on the Switch, and they look pretty good too. Well, they tend to have they don't really run at 60 frames per second since the Switch is only a card-based console. But still, Asylum and City, they run well on the Switch. Arkham Knight, however, not so much. In fact, it's definitely the worst game of the trilogy on the Switch. I mean, it's definitely 1,000 times better on other consoles like the PS4 and Xbox One. But for the Switch, it's definitely not a very good port. In fact, it's a very bad handheld port. Believe it or not, when the Arkham trilogy was first released, Arkham Knight was 100% impossible to get 100% completion because of some glitched Riddler trophies that you couldn't obtain. The game did eventually get updated, but there are still some game-breaking glitches. And, well, I'm going to show you exactly how bad Arkham Knight runs on the Switch. I tell you, it definitely has a whole lot of graphical and frame rate issues. In fact, many people figured that Arkham Knight wouldn't run very well on the Switch, due to how much content it has when compared to the other entries in the Arkham series. How much content and detail. And this version, it does feature all of the DLC that you get from the other consoles. In fact, it also included a brand new costume for Batman. And soon enough, the other versions of the game got that new costume as well. Turn Me Up, as you saw right there, they're the people who ported the free Arkham games to the Switch. And I'm willing to bet that many people would say that they're idiots for porting Arkham Knight to the Switch because of how bad it is. Okay, just load up. And I don't think the other versions of Arkham Knight had this warning right here. Arkham Asylum and City has that as well, I think. Now to start off, you can see that there are only 3 file slots to choose from as opposed to 4 in the other versions. And you can see I got 120% completion on the first 2 files. It actually is possible to get 120% completion on the Switch version now, thanks to the update. But again, there are still some problems a lot of big problems that you'll be encountering when trying to get 120%. I'm gonna choose my first file here. And I guess well, hold on a sec. Well, you can see that every minigame for the Arkham episodes is available for the Switch version. Which is nice. And I should also show you that new costume that I mentioned. It's based on the 2020 movie, The Batman, which is this one right here. This is Robert Pattinson's Batman. And again, it was also added to the other versions, including the PS4 and Xbox One. It looks fine, I suppose, but of course, it looks a lot better in the other versions, in any of the non-Switch versions, due to how much better the graphics are there. I'm sure you can already tell by now that the graphics for the Switch version are definitely not as good. Like, they're pretty low res. As I scroll through the other costumes, and yes, this version does have all of the DLC costumes that you can get, including the Flashpoint skin, and the Adam West Batman skin, and of course the Justice League 3000 skin, which are usually the PlayStation exclusive skins. But yeah, you see the graphics on this costume? Pretty bad, huh? But how can you not expect bad graphics for a handheld port like this? Now, I am going to be playing through some of the story mode. In fact, I'm going to be doing New Game Plus, like I did when I replayed the PS4 version.
under my skin. I've got you deep in the heart of me, so deep in my heart that you're really a part of me. I've got you under my skin. I'd sacrifice anything, come what might.
Look at Joker's face right here. You see how low res that is? It definitely looks like crap when compared to the PS4 and Xbox One version. But of course, here comes the part where you burn Joker's body to a crisp. And because I'm playing New Game Plus, you see this. Yeah, that jump scare.
This is how it happened. This is how the Joker died.
Nine months ago, Joker was cremated. I pressed the button and burnt the evil bastard myself. And then, we waited. Gotham braced itself for the inevitable power struggle. But it didn't come. Crime actually fell. Deep down, I knew war was coming. I was just waiting for someone to pull the trigger.
Look at that sign to the right. It was all fuzzy right there, and it just had to, wait a few seconds before improving. And that cutscene you just saw was pre-rendered, which is why the graphics looks good right there. But just check out the graphics here. Look at that woman's shadow.
Thanks.
No problem. Oh, thanks, honey. So, what'll it be? Your usual?
Sure.
Okay, chicken salad with no dressing.
No, you know what? Make it waffles. With a side of bacon. Don't tell my wife.
Whatever you say, officer.
What does your wife
Oh,
have
and if
against
you
you
want some
eating
more
waffles
coffee,
and
just
bacon?
shout.
Is she trying to get you to eat healthy, maybe?
Next service, waffles with bacon on the side.
Although that is typical for certain wives.
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt your dinner, Officer, Owens. But there's a guy smoking over there in the corner booth.
Wait here. I'll have a word.
So you can already see how bad the graphics are on the Switch. Take a look at these balloons, for example. You see how blocky they are? That's not smooth at all. They definitely looked much more round in the PS4 version. And not to mention the frame rate in this game. Of course it had to be bad as well, when ported to the Switch. Okay, Smoker, you have some explaining to do.
Excuse me, sir. There's no smoking in here.
Holy crap! He's a monster. A freaking monster. Here comes this part, where Owens is encountering all those abominations. Oh no. It's coming for Owens. Grab your gun, pal. Hey, get off me, you... No, you're not gonna bite my face off. Don't make me have to... Oh. Okay, well, oh, crap. This is a freaking nightmare. And Owens is... Well, he's not dead, actually. This is all, an effect of Scarecrow's toxin.
This demonstration used just 5 ounces of my latest toxin. like child's play. Gotham, this is your only warning.
Scarecrow's threat worked. Yesterday, there were 6.3 million people in Gotham City. Today, not so many. The only people left on the streets are the sort that enjoy the chaos.
Gotham's finest.
Scum. Criminals. And worse. Not enough good people left to stop them.
Now get a load of this pan right here. You're about to see the frame rate drop.
It took just 24 hours for us to lose control of the city.
See that?
Tonight, Gotham's relying on one man to save us all.
Well, actually, it doesn't look like the frame rate's dropping as much as it did when the game was first released, like before the update. Yup, Gotham is relying on Robert Pattinson's Batman. I do still love messing around with the alternate costumes, because how can I not? Now before I start gliding, because I'm playing on New Game Plus, not to mention the Switch version, which... hey, wait. Wait, I can't switch the difficulty on New Game Plus? Is Nightmare really the only difficulty I have? Oh boy, this could be a problem. In New Game Plus, you don't get any counter icons during combat, and it's bound to be even more difficult to get through in the Switch version because of the the frame rate issues.
Scarecrow pulling this on Halloween. Guess he's got a sense of humor after all.
Yeah, I wouldn't really say it's a sense of humor. But the frame rate definitely drops whenever I'm gliding around the city, and especially when driving around in the Batmobile, as you'll see soon enough.
I'm just glad you made it out okay. Sorry, I've got to go. Stay safe, Barbara. You still know how to make an entrance.
How's the evacuation going?
Last bus crossed the city limits an hour ago. I'm just glad my little girl got out when she did. Now the real work begins.
Any lead on Scarecrow?
We were tracking an unknown military vehicle speeding through Chinatown. It's the only lead we've had all night, but they gave us the slip. With the evacuation, I just don't have the manpower left in the city.
If you find it, tell your men not to engage. I'll deal with it.
Do you really think Scarecrow's crazy enough to detonate a chemical weapon in Gotham?
I won't let that happen, Jim. In case you need to reach me, it's going to be a long night.
All units, we've got a 1033 in Sector 2. Missing patrol car. Unit 247. Suspected officer down.
Hey, Batman. Every damn time.
Oh, typical Batman. Always gotta pull that on the Commissioner.
Oracle, I need the location of Unit 247.
Already working on it. How's my dad doing?
He's holding up.
Somehow he always does. Okay, I'm sending through the squad car's location. Be careful. It's not looking good out there.
Now, believe it or not, I have been thinking about recording the entire Switch version. That way you can see that it is possible to beat it. Although I haven't officially decided on that yet. Especially now that I know you can't change the difficulty in New Game Plus. And to tell you the truth, I never beaten the version on New Game Plus. I only did that for the PS4 version. Oh hey, you hear that? The opera music. And yes, I do want to look for that mutilated body that Professor Pig left behind. Where was it? There you are.
Alfred, I've discovered a mutilated body. I'm going to try and establish a cause of death.
Look at the graphics right here. You see how crappy this looks? Again, something to expect from a game with a lot of I can't think of what the right word is. Something to expect when a game that has pretty good graphics and a lot of content gets ported to a handheld console like the Switch.
Blood tests reveal the cause of death was an overdose of painkillers leading to cardiac arrest. Also, the victim's fingerprints have been burned off with acid.
A rather unsavory demise.
That's not all. It's as though the subject's DNA has been corrupted somehow. There's insufficient information for me to cross-reference the database. I'll have to use the deep tissue scanner to analyze the body for distinguishing features and determine the victim's identity.
Right you are, sir.
You saw how blurry the wall was, right? How could you not have? But let's do, examine this mutilated body. And what am I finding on the skin? Right there on the left arm.
Scar tissue on the upper arm. I recognize the pattern. 20 years ago, this was a badge of honor among inmates at Blackgate Penitentiary. A small group of racketeers known as the Bloodhaven Six.
And examining this in the muscle.
Remnants of a pacemaker fitted through the right ventricle. If I cross-reference the manufacturer with the pacing method, it will help to narrow the search.
And examine the left leg for the bone.
Clear signs of bone deformation on the victim's knee. Joint line sclerosis points to juvenile arthritis, a rare and debilitating condition. Alfred, I've ID'd the victim as Franklin Accardo.
His records are a litany of drug-related offenses, sir. In and out of prison from an early age. He was serving a 20-year sentence at Blackgate before being released early on grounds of ill health due to a heart condition. He moved to Little Rock, Arkansas, which is where he was reported missing.
What's unusual is that they didn't go missing in Gotham. They were brought here and killed. Why? We need to track down whoever did this.
Might I suggest keeping an ear out for any more of that ghastly opera music? It sounds ominously like a calling card.
Don't you mean you need to track down who did this, Batman? Because it's usually you who has to do everything. But now I think that the cop hostage has waited long enough. And since I'm playing New Game Plus, I have all of the upgrades and gadgets from the non-New Game Plus. Oh no, you're not getting out of here. You're not chickening out of a fight against Batman. Let's grab one of their bats. Bam! And the bat broke too. The baseball bat, obviously. It's okay, you're safe now.
You're safe.
Thanks, Batman. I thought they were gonna kill me. The city's overrun. We don't stand a chance.
Stay here. I'll send someone to pick you up.
What are you doing?
Evening the odds.
Okay, this is where you drive the Batmobile for the first time, and this is where the frame rate gets even worse. The frame rate is always bad when driving in the Batmobile in the Switch version. Okay, we've seen enough of the tire.
Oracle, I need to track that military vehicle.
A squad car has picked up the pursuit. I'm relaying its location now.
Okay, now check out how bad the frame rate is when driving around Gotham.
Oscar 5-6, this is Commissioner Gordon. I'm calling off the pursuit. It's too dangerous.
Sir, we're right here. We can take these bastards.
No, you can't.
They just fired an RPG at us. Who the hell are these guys?
5-6, pull back now. That's an order. Let Batman deal with this.
Yeah, you can already see how bad the frame rate is when driving in the Batmobile.
You've got to stop them. Don't worry, Tim. He's mine.
My god, the bad frame rate, it totally tends to mess you up whenever you're in the Batmobile and you have to chase someone. Like in APC or even Firefly. And you also saw that the game briefly froze. And it's something that happens quite a lot. Especially when you're, well, it happens whenever you're driving or gliding around the city.
That takes care of the vehicle. I need to interrogate the driver and find out what he knows.
Alright, soldier, get talking.
Where's Scarecrow? Go to hell.
Wrong answer.
Where is he? I got nothing to say to you, Batman. Talk, or I'll crush every bone in your body. Okay. He's working out of a penthouse in Chinatown. I swear that's all I know. If you're lying, I'll break the other one. The other one?
That ought to answer your question. That's what he gets for trying to inject Batman with that chemical.
Oracle, check the chemical analysis I've just uploaded.
Sure. Is this what I think it is?
Scarecrow's new toxin. An uncontaminated sample.
You're not kidding. I'll prepare a full chemical breakdown on the Bat computer. What are you going to do?
Scarecrow's got a safe house nearby. I'm going to pay him a visit.
Let's hope this is the break we've been waiting for.
To be honest, Oracle, I doubt that. Chances are, Scarecrow himself won't even be at that safe house. But I suppose it wouldn't hurt to check.
On the top floor.
How long can we keep her in there? Until we get the
Right off the bat, I get to do a multi-player takedown. Surprise, soldiers! Even though you really shouldn't be surprised that Batman would show up.
Well, that's made things a little more interesting.
Sir, it's Batman. He's here.
Were you expecting to find me, Batman? I'm afraid I must disappoint you. Take a look at the chamber. I want you to know the fear that is coming.
Listen up, Bat Freak. We're walking out of here, nice and slow. You try anything stupid, I'll blow her brains out.
Charming. But only one of us is getting out of this cell.
No! No! No!
Nothing like a little natural immunity. What are you doing here?
Why did Scarecrow lock you up?
No hello?
Tell me.
And what if I don't want to?
Then I burn every plant in Gotham.
It started with a meeting.
What meeting?
Everyone was there. Penguin, Two-Face, Riddler, even poor Harley. Scarecrow said he had a plan. That together we could take you out, and Gotham would be ours.
Over my dead body.
I believe that was the idea. I told him that I wasn't interested in his pathetic human games. And when I came to, I was locked up in that room. It's such a shame that his vile toxin has no effect on me. Nature always wins. Will he ever learn?
Actually, the Bat does learn.
You're coming with me.
You only had to ask. What's wrong?
Go, go, go! We've got the target, sir. He's cornered. Don't move.
Are you sure it's him?
Okay, let's bring the car over here. It's time for the very first tank battle of the game.
60mm cannon.
And you get to see how bad the frame rate is when you're battling the malicious tanks.
Riot suppressor engaged.
Firing the non-lethal rounds.
Batman, I spotted 6 more unmanned tanks moving to Chinatown. They'll be there any second.
Just wanted to get that vehicle out of the way while I wait for the other tanks to come. And something tells me that the tank battles will be even harder to do, not just because I'm playing New Game Plus, but again, because of the bad frame rate for the Switch version. I actually would like to try to beat New Game Plus for the Switch version. And chances are I might decide to record the entire New Game Plus for you. And that was the last tank.
We need to leave.
The master of understatement as ever.
I need to know where those tanks are coming from.
I'm tracking several transport helicopters moving into the city. There are more on the way.
Activate the Batmobile weapon diagnostics. It's time to go to war.
Indeed it is. Did I mention yet that this version has a tendency to crash at some points? Well, of course, how can it not crash when it comes to a bad handheld port like this? In fact, back when the game was first released, the game used to crash quite a lot. But then the game got updated, and now it crashes much less often, thankfully. It still happens, but again, not as often. It's time to battle a whole lot more tanks now. And it's a good thing I have all of the same Batmobile upgrades from the non-New Game Plus. Missile Barrage. Now that was Batman's kind of fireworks show.
Jim, tell your men they can resume their patrols. The tanks have been dealt with.
Thank God. Let's hope they were the last.
Don't count on it. I need the isolation chamber prepped at the GCPD lockup. I'm bringing in Ivy.
Yup, it's off to jail Ivy goes.
Just go! You wanna take the wheel? Good to have you here, Batman. Bring her down to the lockup on the lower level.
Sometimes when you're entering GCPD, the shutter doors will be delayed and they won't open right away.
What the hell?
Like not as fast as in the other versions.
What is that thing?
And of course they wouldn't.
Kidding me? I thought we were under attack.
Relax, cops. Batman's the good
Any
guy.
progress with the fear toxin analysis?
It's gonna take a little while longer. Drop by the clock tower when you're ready, and I'll show you what I've got so far.
Who taught you to drive?
Alfred, most likely. Why do I feel like I said that in my replay of the PS4 version?
Scarecrow's gonna break you, Batman.
Honestly, why do you even bother with these meat sacks?
civil unrest? There's a war on the streets. We don't have the manpower or the equipment.
Well, look who it is.
Ivy. Well, that's one less thing to worry about.
Is the isolation chamber ready?
Glad you're putting it to good use.
Oh, good. Another cell.
Well, at least Ivy cooperated. Yeah, but eventually, Batman's gonna need you for something. But yeah, just want to show you exactly what the graphics are like in the inside of GCPD. Like you saw that...
Screw you.
Hold that thought.
Damn bureaucrats. We're on our own.
We can handle it, Jim. What's the latest?
We've got incidents cropping up all over the city. Cash, give us a rundown.
All right, let's see. First up, we've lost contact with the fire crew from Station 17. We've got their last known coordinates, but they're not going to survive out there on their own for long. Then there's this. It's a strange one. Body turned up. We didn't have long to look before the evacuation, but the forensics boys seemed freaked out. Real nasty. Also, we've had several sightings of the Riddler creeping around the train yard. Knowing that guy, he's got to be up to no good.
Screw Riddler.
Look, I know you're busy, but anything you can do to help is going to save lives.
Don't worry, Jim. I have someone working a lead on Scarecrow. I'll see what I can do.
Good to hear. I've got a skeleton.
Okay, well, as I was saying, well, you can already see that the graphics are pretty bad everywhere inside GCPD. The walls and even the people as well. I already mentioned...
Rachel?
What am I trying to say? Well, you can already tell just from watching this video that Arkham Knight is definitely a very bad handheld port. In fact, it's one of the worst handheld ports of all time. And I have played other bad handheld ports as well. Like I played Resident Evil Revelations 2 for the PS Vita, and Mortal Kombat 11 for the Switch. Which is why I did the smart thing and got the PS5 version of MK1. But I think I'm going to end the Switch gameplay video right here. I'm going to take this time to decide whether or not I actually want to record all of New Game Plus for this version for you. Especially to show you that it can't be possible to get even a 240% completion. Even though there is a chance that I may run into a specific game-breaking glitch, which involves the game soft logging, and well, you know what? I might explain that in a future video. But if you're a Batman fan and you really want to play Arkham Knight, it would definitely be best to not get the Switch version, unless perhaps it may be the only version you can get. Like if you have no way of getting a PS4 or Xbox One and you only have the Switch, then this might be your only option. But I do warn you, it's still a very bad handheld port. And chances are, you might not even be willing to try to get 120 or even 240% completion because of how bad it is. But let's just end the gameplay footage right here. Thank you all for watching, and I shall see you later in whatever my next playthrough will be. It could be this game, but again, I'm not entirely sure. Bye everyone.